So this is about the meeting of the previous pope and the current one, and how and why they reached the arrangement they ended up reaching. Now, first off, I just want to say that I'm definitely not the right person to review this movie, because I have quite a few issues with the Catholic Church and I knew that would undoubtedly taint the experience for me. I'm also just not really interested in who runs it or the behind-the-scenes drama behind it all. I don't care about the Pope or his life, and yeah, I'm generally not interested in the subject matter here. So why did I even watch this and why am I reviewing it? Well, that comes down to the people involved, because this is directed by the man who made The City of God, which is nothing short of a phenomenal film. He also made The Constant Gardener, which I liked quite a bit as well. This also has Anthony Hopkins and Jonathan Pryce playing the two popes. And I think both of those are great actors, so I figured together these three might just be able to turn this into something interesting and compelling. Well, did they? Sort of, but not really. I definitely didn't love this. However, I did like the performances quite a bit, and I thought the writing in general was pretty good too. With that being said, the direction and the editing wasn't anything all that special in my opinion. And unfortunately, I did not feel very invested in what was going on story-wise. Well, first of all, I already knew what was gonna happen, so there wasn't exactly a whole lot of suspense. But also, as I said, I just don't really care about the goings-on of the Catholic Church, which definitely made this difficult to really get into on any sort of deeper level. But I will say that the actors and the writer did try their best, and at times this was rather riveting. In fact, for the first hour or so, I found this to be surprisingly entertaining. And when the two popes eventually got together, it was a genuine joy to watch them do their thing. Unfortunately, there's some other stuff going on in this as well. It's not just these two talking. They do get a bit into the backstory of this new guy in the form of flashbacks. And I will say that I found those to be really beautifully shot, especially the early ones. However, at the end of the day, I didn't really find them to be all that compelling. In fact, I think they probably ended up being the main reason I didn't really like this more. Primarily because I thought they messed with the pacing and broke up the parts I actually enjoyed. They got in the way of what I actually liked about this movie, two great actors delivering really good dialogue. And I feel like had those parts been cut, at least some of them, this would have ended up feeling a lot tighter. And to my surprise, the pacing actually ended up being my biggest issue with this. Because after that first part, which I really enjoyed, this just started dragging. And I think that had a lot to do with those flashbacks. They just didn't quite work for me. And I mean, I do get why they're there. They're supposed to humanize the main character. They're supposed to give you some insight into his life and who he is. Give the character some more depth and all of that, but yeah, it just didn't work for me. In fact, I already liked the character just fine because of the acting and the writing. I didn't need any more than that, so those parts just ended up detracting from the experience for me. And as a result, this felt bloated and nowhere near as tight as it could have been. That's not to say I hated it, it was fine, but I think it could have been a lot better too. But anyway, would I recommend this? If you like these actors, sure, they're pretty good in this. But I personally couldn't help but to feel like this was still a bit of a propaganda piece. To show you how hip and cool the new pope is and how the church is changing for the better. Which it might very well be, who knows. But you know, maybe give this one a shot, or don't, after all, I'm not the pope. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.